Dignitaries on the dais, the invitees, the directors, and to be presenting in front of you here. So we are here to mark a celebration of the great, the person who strongly believed the sovereignty of scriptures of all religions must come to an end if we want. So the deliberations today would be started with an invocation song by Kirti Prabhu, the Faculty Department of Industrial Chemistry. I call upon her.
Buddham namami, namo tassa bhagavato arahato, samma sambuddhassa gacchami, dhammam sharanam gacchami, sangham sharanam gacchami, dvitiyampi buddham sharanam, dvitiyampi dhammam gacchami, dvitiyampi sangham sharanam gacchami, tritiyampi sangham sharanam gacchami, tritiyampi buddham panatipata veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami, adhinnadhana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami, kamesu michchāchāra veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami, sūrameraya madhyapapamadatana veramani sikkhapadam samadhiyami, sadhu sadhu sadhu. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
ಈ ದಿನ ನಾವೆಲ್ಲರೂ Dr.B.R.Ambedkar ಅವರ 125ನೇ ವರ್ಷದ ಅಂಗವಾಗಿ ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿರುವಂತಹ ಕೆಲವು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಇದು ಒಂದು ಬಹಳ ಮುಖ್ಯವಾದಂತಹ ಒಂದು ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮವಾಗಿರುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷದಲ್ಲಿ ಅನೇಕ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಅದರಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ದಿನ ನಾವು ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯಗಳ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರ ಒಂದು ಕೂಟವನ್ನು ಹಮ್ಮಿಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ಈ ಒನ್ ಡೇ ವರ್ಕ್ಶಾಪ್ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಧ್ಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್ ರಮೇಶ್ ಎನ್ ಕಾಂಬ್ಳೆ ಸರ್, ಇವರು ಎಚ್ ಕಾಂಬ್ಳೆ ಸರ್, ಇವರು ಮುಂಬೈ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯದ ಇವರು ಬರೆಯ ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಸಮಾಜಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಕ್ಕೆ ಮಾತಾಡದೆ ಅನೇಕ ಚಳುವಳಿಗಳು, ಅನೇಕ ರೀತಿಯ ಚಿಂತನಾ ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮಗಳನ್ನು, ಅನೇಕ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳಿಗೆ ಹುಟ್ಟುಹಾಕಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಕಾರಣಕರ್ತರಾಗಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಈ ಪ್ರೊಫೆಸರ್, ಈ ಪ್ರಾಧ್ಯಾಪಕರಿಗೆ ಅನೇಕ ರೀತಿಯ ಹೆಮ್ಮೆಯ ಸಾಧನೆಗಳು ಅವ್ರ ಜೊತೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಮೊದಲನೇದಾಗಿ ಇವರು ಬೊಂಬೈ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಅಂಬೇಡ್ಕರ್ ಅಧ್ಯಯನ ಪೀಠದಲ್ಲಿ ಈಗ ಪ್ರಸ್ತುತವಾಗಿ ಕಾರ್ಯನಿರ್ವಹಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರು ರಾಜಕೀಯ ಅಸ್ಮಿತೆ, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಸಿದ್ಧಾಂತಗಳು, ವಿಮರ್ಶಾತ್ಮಕ ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಅಧ್ಯಯನಗಳು, ಸಾಮಾಜಿಕ ಚಟುವಟಿಕೆಗಳ ಮೇಲೆ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ಸಂಶೋಧನೆಗಳನ್ನು ನಡೆಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ಇವರನ್ನು ಇಂಗ್ಲೆಂಡಿನ ಲಂಡನ್ ಸ್ಕೂಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಎಕಾನಾಮಿಕ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಜರ್ಮನಿ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಿಗೆ ವಿಶೇಷ ಉಪನ್ಯಾಸ ನೀಡಲು ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಶೋಧನಾ ಸಹಭಾಗಿತ್ವಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ದಲಿತರ ರಾಜಕೀಯದ ಕುರಿತು ವಿದ್ವತ್ಪೂರ್ಣ ಲೇಖನಗಳನ್ನು ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರ, ಅಂತಾರಾಷ್ಟ್ರೀಯ ಮಟ್ಟದಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ, ಪ್ರಕಟಿಸಿರುತ್ತಾರೆ. ಈ ಮಹನೀಯರು ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇರೋದು ಈ ದಿನದ ತುಂಬಾ ಒಳ್ಳೆಯ ಮಹತ್ವದ ದಿನ ಅಂತ ಅನಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಕಾರಣ ಇವರೊಬ್ಬ ಹಿರಿಯ ಸಂಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನ ಅಚ್ಚುಕಟ್ಟಾಗಿ ಮುಂಬೈ ಅಂತ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ಇವರಿಗೆ ಬಂಧುಗಳೇ, ಈ ದಿನದ ಕೇಂದ್ರ ಕರ್ನಾಟಕ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ, ಮೈಸೂರು ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ, ಗುಲ್ಬರ್ಗಾ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯ, ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ, ತುಮಕೂರು, ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು, ಮೈಸೂರು, ಮಂಗಳೂರು, ಹೀಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲಾ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾನಿಲಯಗಳಿಂದ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕರುಗಳು ಬಂದಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ತಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಶ್ವವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದ ಜೊತೆ ಮುಂದಿಸ ಇದ್ದು ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಈ ಕಾರ್ಯಾಗಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಪೂರಕವಾಗಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿರ್ತೀರಿ. ತಮಗೆ ಈ ಸಮಾರಂಭಕ್ಕೆ ಸ್ವಾಗತವನ್ನು ಕೋರ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ. ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆ ಇನ್ನೋರ್ವ ಹಿರಿಯ ಹೋರಾಟಗಾರರಿದ್ದಾರೆ.
Thank you all. So now I call upon Professor Ramesh Kamble, the Director, Dr.B.R.Ambedkar, Mumbai University, to deliver his inaugural.
At the outset, I pay deep respect to Dr.B.R.Ambedkar, whose 125th birth anniversary we are celebrating in this year, and this is one of the beginnings of that program. And all of us have gathered here to pay that homage and respect to one of the extremely prominent makers of modern India. So I offer Savinay Jai Bhim to all of you. I also feel this as a great privilege and honor to be invited in this important university. It is not because those who are steering the university are my close friends, but they justify the title of the address that I have worked out today. The address that I thought I would share with you, the title was Moving from Margin to Center. moving from margin to center. And in both these able gentlemen, you have that movement already arrived at. We were sharing in the morning about just missed. But right now, we would also share just arrived, and arrived rightly so. Okay. They have arrived with sense of commitment, sense of dignity, and deep sense of concern for broader society. I thank both Professor Jogan Shankar, Vice Chancellor of this important university, Professor Somshekhar, who is Registrar of this university, and I particularly thank also Sri Venkatesh, who is one of the pioneers of struggle in this region. You would know why. I deeply thank him a little later. All of them have engaged with margins, but have tried to grapple with, tried to hold the center. And in that sense, their journey is extremely important. It is from margin to center. I thought it is necessary at this occasion to highlight some of the concerns which I think the Ambedkar or Ambedkar chairs and Ambedkar research centers would have. I've tried to articulate this concern in 4 to 5 basic points, but 3 points that I wish to highlight here, and most important point, is this, that the centers have not come just like that. They also have not come just because someone is benevolent and somebody is sympathetic to you. Someone wants to do something good to you. Someone is so concerned about you. Someone wishes to do some kind of charity to you. This is not the reason that these centers have come. But these centers have come as a result of long struggle that people like Venkatesh has launched. It is because of their long and resolute struggle for dignity, struggle for justice, struggle against inequalities, struggle for honor. It is because of that struggle that we see spaces in academics also. Why is it that academic institutions ought to create this space for you? They could have as well said we are dealing with higher education, and higher education has disciplines, social sciences, philosophy, humanities. Why should we have space for Ambedkar and Phule and Savitribai Phule centers? Now, this movement has not just come like that, or someone has not done any charity to you. Someone is not just sympathetic to you. This has come because of these people's struggle. They have struggled relentlessly, and as a result, you would find that it is because of the long, ongoing, resolute struggle of the masses for justice and dignity that this struggle has provided spaces both for legal and policy interventions and measures, but also platform for 2 things. In fact, studying the contributions of great social revolutionaries on the one hand, and to bring particular kind of research focus to our disciplines. You need to study not only sociology, you need to study sociology from margin location. You need to understand philosophy not merely as system of thought that attempts to understand our lives. We need to study philosophy basically from the locations of those who have experienced and encountered humiliation. You need studies of science from those who have worked hard and have cultivated and shown what is it to create the world. From that location, we have to understand these disciplines. And these centers offer that kind of location for us. This center basically offers that opportunity for us. And therefore, I think it is extremely important that we basically deal with. The first point that I wish to make here is through Ambedkar Center for Justice, Ambedkar Research Centers, what we are trying to do is to make what is rendered invisible visible. What has been omitted, what has been silenced, what has encountered institutional closures, what had encountered cognitive blackout, that blackout we are eliminating by taking up these chairs and centers. So through these centers, our first attempt is primarily to make visible what has been rendered as invisible. Let us make what has been years together made invisible visible. Is it possible for us to say that your lives have been made invisible? I'll give one example which comes from my own discipline and basically practiced by an eminent contributor to that discipline, Professor Srinivas, who also happens to be one of your great persons. Yes. And yes, Srinivas has studied Indian villages, as you know, and he pioneered the fieldwork approach in Indian sociology and social anthropology. In one of the prefaces of his work, he points out that indeed he has studied detailed observation, detailed fieldwork in the village, but his concept of village basically was a concept which he later on points out. Specifically, if you see his work cast its 20th century avatar, if you see the preface, he is acknowledging this and he is saying, when I was talking about Indian villages, I was talking about my village and I was talking about my place in that village. So my idea of Indian village came from my location in Agrahara. So for him, village was Agrahara. Outside that, village did not exist at all. This is very interesting. This is his own submission and acceptance. He says, without knowing, I had assumed that Agrahara only constitutes the village. And anything to do about village has to be located in the Agrahara. Outside Agrahara, village does not exist. Now that village, even by an eminent contributor like Srinivas, had been rendered invisible in his work. It became as if it was non-existent. It just did not exist. And he said, I made observations, I made philosophical arguments about Indian life based on my own location in that village. As if, then later on he says, well, I did not know that that village also exists and also has ways of looking at things, ways of understanding life and reflections on life. Okay. This is very interesting. Namdev Dasar, poet, Dalit Panther, who just died 2 years ago, okay, who was a very close friend of mine, and his first work came up, and the work was called Golpitha. Okay, that is translated now into various languages, whose written preface